Hey guys, how's it going? John here from IncomeMesh.com. Today's video is going to be in our beginner series where I'm going to help you learn 5 different ways to create buttons and links on your website to drive traffic to whatever you want, whether it could be your latest blog post, your new sales page, or even just a link to share with a friend. Okay, so in this video, we're going to cover 5 different ways. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button to follow me on YouTube and all that cool stuff. And let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so way number 1, we're going to waste no time here. Let's say we have some text on our website. Just like that, we have some text. So let's say we want to make a button or a link for this word here, Income Mesh, to link them over to my website, which you guys should all go and check out, right? All you have to do is in the default WordPress editor, they call it Gutenberg, but we're here in 2020. This is the new default editor. All you got to do is just highlight over that text there, click on the link button, and put in the URL. So I'll type it in. And you can choose to whether it's open in a new tab or in the same tab. Here, let's open it in a new tab and hit enter, and there we go. If I update this page and check it out, you can see here we have our text. This is just the Thrive Theme Builder theme that I'm working on here, but you can have this link here, click on it, and it'll take you to the page you want to go to. Okay, so that's way number 1, simply turning your text into a clickable link or button. All right, let's go into way number 2. Now, way number 2 is very similar, very simple, but instead we're actually going to get buttony. It's going to look like a button. In Gutenberg, or in the default editor, if you want to add a new block, simply click on that plus button, and you can see over here, you'll have your most used, you'll have whatever other options you have here. Depending on what plugins you have, you might have a few extra options. Under layout elements, you're going to have an element called the button. Just put that guy right there, and then I'm also going to type in check out this amazing site. And then if I hover over it, you'll see the option to put a link right here. I'll click on that link and again type in the URL you want to send people to. Okay, in this case I will open it in the same tab, so I'll just go ahead and hit enter right here and I'm all set up. Once again, let's go ahead and see what's going on the front end. So here we are, we have the button here. I can click on it, it's going to go where I want it to go. Fantastic, but unfortunately this color is kind of ugly, so let's go and edit that real fast. We'll come in to edit our page and pop back in here. Now if I click on this button, you'll notice over here the background options, so we can style it with maybe this gray color, and maybe it can have dark text, or maybe it can have white text with a red background, whatever you want. And you can also do gradients now, which lets you set up 2 different colors. Let's say maybe this green, which has a pre-built-in gradient. So you see that blue is a dark blue up top, a lighter blue on the side, and white text throughout. That's a pretty clean look, and we'll play around with that however you want to. Okay, you can also choose in your own custom colors. If you want to do a custom color, you can pick any color of the rainbow that you want and change your text, and there you go, you've got a button. Fantastic. All right, way number 3 is getting a little bit fancier with your button design, but still using the default editor inside of WordPress. And there's a huge list of potential plugins that you can do to add additional functionality to your website. I'm going to come here and just show you one that I like. There's multiple that are recommendable, but I'm going to show you this one here. If you search for Cadence with a K in your WordPress plugins add new area, you'll see something called Cadence Blocks. And if you install and activate that, it's going to change what your editor looks like a little bit, kind of like this. So if I click on the plus button now with Cadence installed, you'll see an area called Cadence Blocks, and they'll give you a bunch of different things you can play with. One of them is the advanced button. So if I pull this in, what I have the ability to do now is, instead of just having 1 button along right there, I can put 2 buttons side by side, or even 3 buttons if you want to get crazy with it. You can change the button alignment really easily, and you can change all the settings inside each button just like that. So for example, button 1, let me go ahead and send it to the same website. I can change the text size. You can get really nutty, change a lot of functionality with it, add a box shadow if you want to. A lot of cool things you can do. And let's also say this is Cadence Blocks. All right, I'll hit update. And I'm not going to go through style all that because we get the idea. There's a lot you can do here, but this is another option of adding additional functionality through third-party plugins for your WordPress website. So you can see here, this was the default one. This is now the Cadence Blocks. Sometimes they have nicer styling, nicer functionality, but it's also more code added to your website. You just don't want to go too crazy with it. Find a few that do what you want to do and be happy with it is what my recommendation would be. All right, so method number 3 for adding a call to action or a button or a link to your website is using images as buttons. Now, this isn't as popular anymore, but back in the day, you would see all these really crazy looking images. And so what I did was this is an ode to the days of old where you'd have all these kind of crazy looking pictures. So let's say I want to be super cheesy with this old picture of me and I'm pointing to a button that says wow. Okay, so I don't necessarily recommend you do this on your website if you want it to be taken seriously, but this is a fun tutorial, so I thought I'd show it to you. So what I can do, I'm here in PowerPoint. I'm just going to take all this little image that I designed and I can move it around, do whatever I want. I love PowerPoint. It's super, super flexible. I'm going to select this and I'm just going to right click it and save it as a picture. Call it silly button. All right, so my silly button has been saved. What's important about doing this is that there's actually a transparent background. So if it's just a white background, it might work if your website is white, but this is going to work no matter what the background color looks like. Okay, so I've saved that. Now what I want to do inside to turn this into a button is add a block one more time, or I can do a backslash and search for image. I'm going to add an image onto my website, and I'm just going to drag and drop that image directly onto the canvas. So I locate it here in my downloads area. Here's my silly button. I'm going to drag it and drop it, and it will upload just like that. This is quite silly, but we're going to rock and roll with these examples. And there we go. So now if I update and take a look here, I'm also going to make this not so big because that was kind of an annoyingly large button. So now we have our buttons. We have our text, our regular button here, a slightly more styled and more flexibility button using cadence blocks. And also this is now a button. I can click on it and it'll also take me to where I want to go directly there in the WordPress editor. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways. Now the final way, the 5th way, and this is when you really want to have complete control over how your design looks, I would recommend looking into a page builder. I've got a ton of content on my YouTube channel about different page builders. Right now, the one that I think is the overall most powerful and can grow with you the most is Thrive Architect. So let's go ahead and make a new page and show you what you can do with tools like Thrive Architect to build out your buttons. So this is going to be a Thrive page. And I'll go straight into the Thrive Architect editor. This is not a full tutorial on Thrive Architect, but I just want to simply show you some of the power that you get here. So if I wanted to have a similar type of call to action, a nice button, I'm going to go ahead and search for call to action. I can just drag it right into my post. And instead of having to go into PowerPoint and then do all this design work and then pull it into my website and then have it be not looking right on different screen sizes, I can directly come in here and find something that I like, one of these templates. And now I've got a button right here that is already kind of nicely colored, nicely branded, and I can simply go to the target URL and put in my website as well. Let's say this is in a new tab. If I want to, I can change the color however I deem necessary. And what's cool about this is it's extremely drag and drop, very friendly, where I can put a button in, I can put a button to the side of it if I'd like to, and just put this right there. I can change the alignment, change the sizing. I can even put in like a secondary text. So get the thing now, limited time. I can take this text and even make it smaller. You get the idea. You can even have some fun little wiggle effects here. So let's animate these buttons and let's give it a little CSS animation and let's make it when it appears, do something crazy like that, like it's going to rotate around. And this guy, again, I don't recommend doing all this in like all at once because it's kind of overwhelming, but it's nice to know you have the flexibility to do that. And we can even add a shadow to this button. And what else could we possibly do to make these buttons look crazy? I think you get the idea. Let's go ahead and save and preview this. Take a look at it real quick. Here we've got, you kind of saw how those buttons came in with vengeance on the page. But overall, you've got a very beautiful design, very easy to use. Click on it, still works. So that is 5 different ways that you can create buttons on your website. Way number 1, simply turn your text into a link. Way number 2, use the built-in default button functionality built into WordPress. Way number 3 is to get a little bit fancier, but still stay inside the WordPress editor and get a plugin like Cadence blocks in to create better looking buttons. Way number 4 was using an image that you design and edit in whatever program you want. It doesn't have to be PowerPoint. You can use any of the tools online to do that as well, and then pull that in as an image and link that image to the text or to the URL you want to send it to. And way number 5 is when you want to really up your design skills, get a WordPress page builder. I currently recommend Thrive Architect and Elementor, but I only showed Thrive in this video. Check those out. There will be links down below to some of the different tools we talked about. And that's it. So don't be overwhelmed. Adding content to your website and linking from page 1 to page 2 doesn't have to be crazy. I just showed you 5 ways in about 10 minutes. So you can do this. I believe in you. If you want to learn more about these WordPress basics, let me know down in the comments below what you're currently struggling with. I'd love to make content just for you. I'm John from IncomeMesh.com, helping you find the perfect tool for your next project. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.